How sweet the sound.
Listen into your body, whatever it has to tell you, without a story. Just the sensation, just the little wiggles of neurotransmitters, letting you know how things are going on. Begin our invocations by first invoking Ganesha, the Lord of auspicious occasions, the Lord of now. And of course we're all Ganesha. Ganesha's always with us. He's reminding us he's an elephant-headed boy, so he's weighty, he's grounded. But red Ganesha, not the roly-poly little Ganesha you're more familiar with, but the red Ganesha, he's a little more fierce. It's the dancing Ganesha. So he's grounded, and yet he's lithe on his feet as a dancer. It's how we all want to be, grounded and lithe, dancing the dance of the unfolding of our experiences. Usually we'll do the cosmic water, the Lord of cosmic waters as an invocation. But this is the week of Shivarati, Mahashivarati, in celebration of consciousness and the 5 acts that consciousness can bring us. creation, sustenance, destruction, to hide and to reveal. So we're going to sing a little Shiva mantra. It's the Shiva root mantra, and we'll do it in Vedic Swara. I practice out of love for myself to learn the truth for the benefit of all beings. Namovaha Sadavaha Swagatam Sadavaha. Welcome, good and beautiful friends. May you find blessings upon your journey. So we've already spent a few moments just inhabiting our body, feeling the sensation of embodiment, just the joy of having a body. Without a body, we have no experience. There's nothing stimulating. There's nothing that's reaching our brain without the senses of the physical body. So we celebrate the physical body because enlightenment can only be found through the body in the tradition I teach from. It's very different. It's not a renunciate tradition. It's an embracing of all that life has to offer for the benefit of all beings. And that's kind of the caveat. There's nothing that we can do that brings no harm. There's absolutely nothing that we can do in life that doesn't harm some other being or many other beings. And all we can do is our intention is to do as little harm as possible, and thus creating a benefit for the most. This could be called happiness. This would be happiness as John Locke defined it. And Thomas Jefferson swiped it and put it into the Declaration of Independence. It's the greatest good. It's happiness. It's the foundation of liberty. It's happiness. Greatest good, doing what's in the greatest good. And that goes back to Abhinavagupta in the 11th century India. Those ideas, those notions. All right, so we're going to work a little bit in the shoulders today. So why don't we come onto our backs? Let's just begin with our backs. Unless you want to do this first, let's just do this first. We're going to be working our shoulders to be going towards this type of a movement. And in yoga, there's a pose called gomukhāsana, or cow face pose. And there's some leg stuff that goes along with this. We're going to forget the leg stuff. We're just going to worry about the shoulder stuff. This is about balancing internal and external rotations in the legs and in the shoulders. We're just going to be dealing with the shoulders. When we reach one hand, I'm going to put my left hand behind my back. You can feel that there's an internal rotation. The upper arm is rotating down. And as I start to lift that hand up, just don't bring it, we don't want any stress on the shoulders. This is incredibly important in a class like this. We want to really respect our shoulders. We don't even want to do anything that gives us a hint of distress in the shoulder. So I'm asking you to do something with the recognition that no pain. No pain. So just bring the hand behind the back for a moment. And then if you bring this hand overhead like this, you'll notice you have an external rotation. The arm rotates outward to bring the hand back. Now, just kind of get a feeling without stressing, without straining at all. Just get a notion of how close your fingertips are to each other. Don't try to work it. Go ahead and release from the side you're doing. Just let your shoulders relax back down. Take a breath or two into the chest, expand. And then just do the same thing on the other side. I always start with the arm that comes underneath. I always try to find that nice and comfortable. And then reach straight up, do that external rotation. Turn the palm towards the back of the room and then bring the palm down. And just notice how close your fingertips. My fingers are probably 4 inches further apart on this side than the other side. Just notice it. Don't care about it. Let it go now. Just let that go. We'll check in at the end of the class. So come on and lie on your backs. Just lie on your backs. Now I'm not going to demonstrate. I'm going to talk through this. These kind of movements really, this is an exploratory type of practice. So I don't want you to do what I'm doing. I want you to do what feels the easiest and the smoothest with the least resistance in your body in this moment. And yet at the same time being playful and experimenting and trying different little variations. Okay, and I'll point those out as we go along, possible variations. Now just allow yourself to sink back down into your back, into the back of your pelvis, the back of your heels, the back of your legs. Find where your arms are on the floor. Just notice how you chose to lie here, how your body came to rest. Recognizing also that once our body's on this horizontal surface, we've just begun to relax the body. Trust that whatever surface you're on is not going to give away, is not going to drop you to pain. It's probably not going to drop you at all. And allow yourself to soften. Allow your face to soften. Allow your heels to soften into that surface, the back of your legs to soften, back of your pelvis, your lower back. The place in your back where the ribs begin at the lower back. Feeling up into the space between the shoulders. Just noticing the shoulder blades lying on the ground. Just bringing your awareness to the left shoulder blade. Bring your awareness to the right shoulder blade. Just wondering, how does it feel to have shoulder blades? How do they feel? Bring your awareness, just allow the awareness to just shuttle back and forth from the left shoulder blade to the right with the intention of comparing, of a comparison without creating a story about it. I'm not saying this one's better than that one, just recognizing the differences, allowing it to move. But as you're shuttling back and forth, maybe every several seconds or so, begin to notice that there's movement. You're awareness is bringing subtle, deep movement. Just bringing an awareness to a joint in your body brings those deepest fibers of the muscles to alertness, to attention. They're beginning to engage. And this practice is about finding that beginning of engagement, that organization, and how that organization localizes from maybe a seed point someplace in our awareness and spreads throughout the body and indeed into the space surrounding us. Once again, begin to bring your awareness now to the back of your head. Just noticing if the distance between your left ear and your left shoulder point, a little bone right at the top of your shoulder there, almost at the end, is the same distance as your right ear to the right shoulder point. A little bone right at the top of the shoulder. Just becoming aware. Most of us actually carry our head to one side or another. We almost all of us have some type of it's just the asymmetry of the human body. It's to be expected, but just recognize it. Just notice that it's there. And allow it to be. And allow it to become engaged. Allow whatever your body feels like now to be totally engaged and totally aware. And now, slowly and easily, begin to lift both shoulders simultaneously towards the sky. Slowly and easily. Elbows are relaxed, hands are relaxed on the ground, just the tips of the shoulders lifting. Notice it's kind of a parabolic movement. They're coming a little bit closer together, and then even more slowly allow the shoulders to come back down. And with your breath and in your timing, don't try to time it with the breath if that doesn't feel right for you. Just breathe and just do the movement, slow and easy. And really pay attention to the organization. Maybe don't move. Just bring the intention of moving. See if you can sense, feel into that deep organization that's happening, a movement in your body just through conscious awareness. Slowly bringing them up towards the ceiling, feeling them come together and slowly back down. Begin to observe what happens to your shoulder blades. In what direction do your shoulder blades move as the shoulders are lifting? And in which direction do the shoulder blades move when you're releasing back down? Begin to see if you can feel the connection into the neck as you lift the shoulders and release the shoulders back down. There's a lot of connection between the muscles of the neck into the shoulders, into the upper back, into the chest. You can feel some of that, just slow and easy movement. And then go ahead and relax. And always, always rest. If you're feeling tired, please rest. This is not the type of practice where we are building muscles. We're just allowing our body to organize at a deep level so that our movements become more efficient and less damaging to our joints. We need to build strength. I'm not saying you can just do this kind of stuff, but when we can feel the movements, everything we do becomes more important. Everything we do becomes more vivid. Every time we move our body, it's more spectacular because the sensations, we can feel it delocalized. We can feel it in the first place. And now, see what happens if you try to press your shoulders down a little bit. What part of your body has to stabilize? So you're just drawing your shoulders into the surface you're lying on just a little bit. Everything else is relaxed, just the shoulders, and slowly release back to neutral. Where does the weight in your body shift? What happens in your spine? Allow your belly to be soft. We don't need much belly work here at all. This is the shoulders and the back. But breathe. Feel your belly lift on the breath. Feel your belly fall on the exhale. Maybe hearing the sounds of the breath. Hum on the inhale. Sigh on the exhale. And then go ahead and let that go for a minute. Just let all the movement go. Bring your awareness to the shoulders. Maybe that kind of scanning back and forth. Shifting back and forth slowly every several seconds. Just noticing subtle differences between the sensations emanating from the shoulders. How they're the same and how they're different, but without a story. Just recognizing there's a difference. Now gently allow your head to start to roll from side to side. Just a little bit at first. Relax your jaw. And actually, why don't we begin to roll with the jaw? Begin to move your jaw a little bit to the left. Soften into the jaw. And then let the head and the eyes follow the jaw to the left. Just a little movement from the jaw. Just a little movement in the neck. And then allow it to come back to neutral. The jaw coming back to neutral and the head coming back to neutral together. And then a little bit to the right, allowing the jaw to lead. Just ever so slight with the jaw. And see if you can feel that connection. Come back to neutral. See if you can feel the connection of the movement of the jaw into the spine of the neck. So you can go feel that come down into the shoulders, maybe into the upper back. And then go ahead and come back and relax whenever that comes around. Just find that ease in your body once again. Ask yourself, how does it feel to be me? What sensations are occurring in my body? Make space in your brain, make space in your awareness. All these thoughts that keep rising and falling. Meet the object of your awareness, the sensations of your body, the full body sensation. We're moving one part of the body, the rest of the body has to adjust to that movement, it has to stabilize, it has to provide a platform for movement. There's just so much going on. Allow this to be the focus of our awareness. So begin to roll onto your belly. And allow your gaze to face to the left, your head to face to the left, and your left arm can kind of be up, so you're looking maybe at your elbow on the left, and the right arm is down at the side of your body. Just allow yourself to breathe here for a few minutes. Start to feel this shape in your body. And then bring the back of the right hand. If you're having a problem with your neck, you can put it on a pillow. Do something to protect your neck if it doesn't feel good for you facing that way. Sometimes people, if their neck is turned too much, after a while it starts to bring some discomfort. So you can support your head at an angle, if that's going to be a little bit more comfortable for you. So we're looking to the left arm is kind of up. We're looking towards the left ankle. Our elbow, if we're looking at all, on the back of the right hand is someplace on the back of the pelvis, on the lower back, someplace where we can relax and allow the right elbow, maybe it's floating, maybe it's on the floor, but wherever it is, you can release. This is an asymmetric position. Feel how your body, notice how there might be something happening in your body that you're rolling one way or another, that you're supporting your weight with a different part of your chest or your pelvis or your belly. Just notice this. And then slowly, from the wrist to the shoulder, the elbow's not moving, but we're lifting the elbow towards the sky behind us, and even more slowly allowing the elbow to come back down towards the floor. So the back of the right hand is relaxed. You can extend the fingers if that feels good. Feel the fingernails on your back or the back of your pelvis, and slowly, slowly relax into the right shoulder. And allow the right elbow, and the right wrist is going to flex a little bit here as the elbow moves. So we want to keep the back of the hand on the back. So the wrist is moving, the shoulder is moving, and the elbow, so the arm is just making this 90-degree angle. The elbow's not moving that angle, it's just going towards the sky and back down towards the ground. And maybe just organizing for that movement. Just bringing the awareness and the intention to that movement. And the ceasing of that movement. You might want to move the hand around just a little bit on the back. Maybe just a centimeter, maybe a little bit closer to the spine, a little bit closer to the side, just to vary. Each time we lift the elbow, it's a little bit different. Bring our awareness to the shoulder that's moving. But as we're lifting the right shoulder, you can feel that the shoulder is lightening off the ground a little. How does your body adjust for that? Can you feel the weight shift on the front of the body somehow? Can you feel maybe one side of the body lengthening and the other side of the body shortening? Maybe the head wants to get involved. Maybe the head's rolling a little bit. Maybe the chin's moving up or down. Everybody is going to be different. We're going to be feeling the sensations of a lifetime of habits in our body. And we have to feel those habits before we know what they're doing, before we know if they're good. I mean, some of these habits may be helping us out a lot. Some of these habits may not. We need to learn how to discern. And the Sanskrit term for that is tarka. It's a discrimination. And it's bringing things into a discrimination to bring things into alignment. So go ahead and just allow that right hand to come back down to the floor now. And just relax it a little bit. Just take a few breaths. If you want to roll to your side or whatever, to take a few moments here to relax. But just start to notice the difference between your right shoulder and your left shoulder from the movement. Allowing those sensations to guide the movement. And once again, we don't want to bring distress to the body. We want to allow each successive movement to be easier than the previous movement. We don't want it to become more difficult. We want our body to learn the pathways. And maybe it's not easier the second time, and that's okay. That means don't do it so much. That means back off. Do half as much in twice as much time. Allow the brain to work. Allow the body to function. So let's come back onto our belly, and this time we're going to turn the head to the right. Right arm will be up, left arm down the side of the body. Just find a place that's comfortable there. Just notice maybe the length of the right side of the body is longer than the left. Or the left is long. Just notice how your body is. Notice if the pelvis might be slanted one way or the other. The right side might be higher than the left, or vice versa. The shoulders, the head, the neck. Get yourself comfortable here. And then bring the back of the left hand to an easy place to be on your back. Right, lower, or the back of the pelvis, the lower back. Just some place it's easy to be. And begin to slowly, once again, allow that left elbow now to slowly move towards the sky, allowing the movement to come from both the shoulder and the wrist. Allow the wrist to bend, keeping the back of the hand. Not pressing into the back, but on the back. Not putting a lot of energy into that, but we want to hold it flat on the back as the elbow moves. Feel the wrist when the wrist starts to kick in. This is a very important movement. Sometimes when we have shoulder injuries or the wrist really feels the lack of movement in the shoulder. We can lose the lack of movement in the wrist because we've lost it in the shoulder. Or we make up for the lack of movement in the shoulder with the wrist, and that can create problems for the wrist also. Is this too much for you, Andrew? Is this? So relax, yeah, just let it go. Maybe just come back to it one time and then relax, right? Just do it one time and keep the hand on the floor even. You don't have to move. You can just bring the awareness, the intention to the movement. It's an organization thing. It's all in your head. It's not the body. Allow the hand to come to a slightly different place each time. And slow, slow and easy. Respect the shoulders. And you can release this whenever you're ready. If it's too much, release it. Rest for a moment. Just do one more. If it feels good to do one more, if it doesn't, don't do one more. Just think about doing another one. Just bring it into your awareness. It's really, truly as useful as doing the movement itself. It truly, truly is. All right, so why don't we go ahead and release this and roll back onto our backs. Find that easy place to be on your back. We're going to be going back and forth this whole practice. You have to speed it up a little bit. Got a nice little yin pose for you to do as part of this. Feel your shoulders, recognizing, observing, feeling any difference between the two. Just noticing how your back is lying on the floor. Maybe allow your head to roll gently from side to side. Relax the jaw. Noticing the movement to the spine, seeing how far down your back you can feel the spine move from just gentle movement to the head. Can you feel your vertebrae between your shoulder blades adjusting ever so slightly, ever so subtly, the movement to the head. So let's go ahead and bring our legs to standing, our feet to standing, and bring the feet in a comfortable place where they can support the weight of the body if you press the feet into the floor. So the arms are at the side. And actually, yeah, let's have the arms at the side for now. So I really like to bring my feet up close enough so that I can touch the back of my heels with my fingertips. So that makes it much easier. We can push down, straight down into the heels, and allows the pelvis to lift more smoothly. Start to lift the pelvis and find a height that's comfortable for you to hold the pelvis. And now I'm going to ask you to bring your right hand behind your back. So your lower back's off the floor, and bring your left hand over. And the way I like to do this is I like to kind of grab my hand like this, but you can grab your wrist, but behind you. And just slowly guide the fingertips of your right hand towards your head. And that might just mean rotating the wrist a little bit, moving the fingertips up in alignment with the spine. So both hands are under. We're holding the pelvis up. Let go of it if it's too much, and just slowly guide. So both shoulders are engaged here. Right? We're just slowly guiding the fingers along the spine of the right hand with the left hand. Like I said, I like to grab the hand itself, but you can grab the wrist. Sometimes I think people grab too much and start to yank around if they grab the wrist. You just grab the hand like this. One hand to the right hand and the left like this. You can really kind of just pull the fingertips up like this. You can feel the gentle rotation of the shoulders. Allow your whole body to move with this. So you can kind of see my right side shortening and the left side is lengthening. My head wants to get engaged. Just try to roll slowly. And when that becomes too much, when your legs get tired, your shoulders get tired, let go. And just let go and come back down. We're going to come back into this several times on both sides. There's different types of movement here. This is a really critical movement for humans to be able to make, is to be able to reach behind themselves. Now, when let's come back up, press back up, and grab that right hand up there. Now, there's different things that you can do. You can bring the back of the right hand to the spine, to the back, flat on the back, and start to turn the fingers up. Or you can keep the palm on the floor and try to notice the difference. The palm's on the floor and you try to rotate the wrist. It's just rotating at the wrist. And a lot of the movement is really just going to be at the wrist. Just trying to bring the hand up. But the sensation goes all the way up to the shoulder. It starts to wake up the shoulder and allow it to start to entertain moving in that direction. So go ahead and release both hands again. So soft and easy, that's the whole secret to this. No destination. We're not trying to get the fingers further up the back. We're just coming to a place that's comfortable and then moving from that place, staying comfortable. Just the most subtle of movements. And now let's go ahead and press the feet down. Now we're going to bring the left hand under and use the right hand. And this is going to be a totally different situation, right? We're hand dominant. So this is going to feel really weird on one side compared to the other. So you can start to draw the fingers up along the spine. Okay, variations are you can move the angle of the elbow, and you can also bring the hand closer to the floor or closer to your back in this gentle movement. And just movement to the wrist, up from horizontal towards a vertical. Allow the wrist to soften, and that'll allow the shoulders to soften. It's all going to be part of the unit, and it's not big movements. Don't try to get it all at once. It's going to take months to bring this into alignment. Relax the shoulders as you're moving them. This is not a lot of movement. Most of the movement is going to be making space in your ribs, especially up under the arms, for this kind of action to happen in the shoulders. It's not really the shoulders that are impeding the movement. It's typically the ribs across the front of the chest. So you can feel that in there. And go ahead and relax back down. Go ahead and let it back down. We'll come back up on that side. And when we're doing such, shoulders are just so unstable. They're just so incredibly unstable in humans. They're made for swinging through trees. That's what mobility in shoulders is about for humans. And then we do all kinds of things like throw things with it and all that kind of stuff. And that's really not what they're made for. You know, we push off on them all the time. That's not really what they're about. And we have this kind of attitude a lot of the day where we're allowing the shoulders to draw forward, which they're just popping right out of it. There's no socket there. Right? It's just a flat piece of bone in it. It's something that moves on that flat piece of bone. They just drop out of there. All right, so let's press down into the feet once again. Bring the left hand under, and let's just try that a few more times. Just give it a couple more movements. We're going to come back to this again. Just a few. Try moving the hand down a little bit towards the pelvis, right? and then doing it. That might be easier for you. Work there, work where it's easy. Start to pattern the movement in your awareness. So open your awareness to the sensations. Then you go ahead and release that. And come on back onto your back. Oh, I'm sorry, come onto your belly. You're on your back, come onto your belly. Now we're going to do that same thing on our belly. Okay, so we're going to bring on our belly now, and we're going to face towards the left. Right? So you can bring the left arm up, face towards the left, right side of the face is down, right hand's around the back, but then go ahead and bring your left hand around, grab the right, and start doing it on this side. Allow your body to move. Maybe you roll into the right shoulder as you start to draw the hand around. Maybe you start to notice it. If I bring the weight into the front of the body and maybe even lift the head a little bit towards the sky, I get a little bit more mobility along my spine. Start to feel the connection between the back of your hand and your spine as you're guiding the hand, the right hand with your left hand. See if you can actually feel your knuckles or the back of your hand somewhere along the vertebrae. Making contact, feeling that physical contact with the vertebrae. And you can also, while you're here, you can also try to draw the left hand or the right hand all the way over to the left. And maybe you roll all the way onto your right side as you're drawing the left hand to the left. Easily. This is not a big movement. The movement is trying to open the chest. It really doesn't have a lot to do with the shoulder. It's opening the chest, allowing the head to move into that. Slowly back around. So now we're not trying to move it up so much as find the arm maybe even a little bit behind your torso. Slow and easy. Allow the body to roll onto the right side. If that feels right, allow the head to roll towards the sky. Maybe it even lifts. Whatever makes this an enjoyable movement for you. And then go ahead and let that go with the right arm. Give yourself a moment. You can roll onto your side or onto your back if you're tired of being on your belly. Usually what I do if I'm lying on my belly in between rest, I'll stack my hands and put my forehead on my hands. Or I'll even stack my fist and bring my forehead to the fist, depending on, or any combination thereof. Just to realign your neck. We have a hard time in the Western world with turning our neck. Once again, that's because of this kind of attitude, this hunched forward attitude of sitting. I don't mean an attitude like you got a bad attitude. An attitude is the way you present. Right? So if you can bring that up, right, the head, it's much easier to turn from side to side when you're down here. It's like a really weird movement to turn side to side, whole body gomukhāsana. Okay, so let's come back to our belly. And now we're going to bring the left hand across, so facing right. You can start with the right arm up. Get that sensation, get that feeling, and this is good. It might feel totally different. You grab the wrist of the left hand and just start to move just a little bit. You can start moving the left fingers up the back. Allow your body, your head, your neck, your pelvis to support the movement. And allow some opening to happen gently, slowly. It's always slowing it down. You can never go too slow in a practice like this. I feel like I'm rushing through these when I'm doing these, when I'm teaching these.
Space and time.
Just slowly. And take breaks. Take breaks. Be careful. Be safe. Be loving. Be nurturing to your body. And try to move it into places it doesn't want to go. Especially the shoulders, really. Shoulders are crap. I know. I've had shoulder surgery on this side and the left side. They wanted to do it. And I was after that first shoulder surgery, I was like, I'm never doing shoulder surgery again. And I'm really trying not to. But it's a matter of keeping it moving, keeping the patterns open for moving, and then don't try to push it. Just don't try to push that. Don't try to bring your shoulders into a place they don't want to go. And it's different from every day. Every day it's a different experience. That's what I feel with my shoulders. So go ahead and release that. Turn to your back for a moment. And we're going to do a little yin here, but just come onto your back. Refocus. Allow yourself to let it go again. Just to find ease in your body. And then we're going to come into a gentle yin pose that will support this movement, perhaps. And if the yin pose isn't going to work for you, we're only going to be in this yin pose 3 minutes per side. So the way this is going to work, we're going to roll over our arms. So I'm going to ask you, bring your legs to standing first. I think this will be easier if we bring the legs to standing. And then just reach the left arm straight out from the left side of your body. Bring your right arm across, reaching for your left fingers. Allow both knees to begin to draw to the left and come on to your left side. And then we're going to invite the left shoulder, or the right shoulder, to begin to roll towards the left elbow. So what's going to happen is the left arm is eventually going to be under your body like this, or as far as it's comfortable for you. You might stop at a place like this. Right? So we're going to roll our shoulder onto the left arm, wherever it's comfortable. We're not going to try to take it as far as it can go. We want to, till we just start to feel it. We can support our other shoulder with a blanket or something. We can bend into the right knee to support the weight on the right knee as we roll to the left. And then you can allow the back of your right hand just to drape over the right side of your body and onto your back. Okay, so here again, we've got a little external rotation on the left arm underneath us, and we have an internal rotation in the right arm, and the back of the hand is on our back. So now in a yin release, breathe into the rib cage. Really try to breathe from shoulder to shoulder to expand the ribs underneath the arms and the points of the shoulders away from each other. Feel the collarbone expanding towards the shoulders. With an easy breath. Allow the shoulders to relax. Don't try to come deeper into this. Allow relaxation to happen. If you're feeling any unease, dis-ease in your shoulder, back off. Back off. Breathe and feel. Allow your rib cage to relax, your ribs to soften. See if you can make space in the underarms under both the left and the right arms. You might feel that congestion in the underarms and the ribs. If you really feel a lot of congestion in the underarms, begin to open your chest towards your chin. So just allow your upper back to open up so the chest opens to wherever your head is. And you might feel that that releases some of the stress in the shoulders. And if this becomes uncomfortable, just come on out of it. Just come out of it and lie on your back. Feel your breath. Feel your breath follow the contour of the shape created from this asymmetric shoulder presentation. Just be here for another 2 breaths. Take 2 nice, long, slow, deep and easy, fulfilling breaths. Not filling breaths, but fulfilling breaths. Satiating breaths without feeling overfull. When you finish those 2 breaths, just slowly untangle, unwind, and roll onto your back. So now we're going to extend the right arm out to the side. Bring the legs to standing. Slowly bring the left arm across the body, looking at the left fingers coming towards the right fingers. Allow the knees to come over to the right. Find a place on your side, maybe rolling a little bit into the right shoulder. Bringing the left elbow towards the right arm. Wherever you just start to begin to feel the openness in the shoulder and stop there. Breathe into that a little bit. Find a comfortable place to rest your head. And then you can always invite the back of the left hand to come around to the back of the body, just somewhere. Don't try to force it anywhere. The closer to your legs the arm is, probably the easier this will be. But just find a place without stress. We just want to begin to feel this shape. And maybe as we breathe and expand the ribs from side to side and front to back, maybe we begin to feel more sensation into the shoulders, but just from the breath, not from the body weight, not from muscular activity, but just from a soft, easy, fulfilling breath. Allow your belly to expand, your lower back to expand. And that full body breath without effort. Softening with each breath. Allow the ribs to soften. Allow the upper ribs to soften. Collarbone to expand. Shoulder blades. Which way are the shoulder blades going? How do the shoulder blades feel in a position like this? With the arms rotated in different directions. See if you can feel that there's an opening, a natural opening that happens in your front part of your chest. Let's just take another 2 or 3 nice, soft, slow, easy breaths here. then slowly unwind from this and come on back onto your back. We're going to try to work a little bit more into opening the ribs now with some easy movement from that bridge pose. So bring your legs back to standing. Bring your feet comfortably close to your pelvis, a place where it's really, really easy to push down and hold your pelvis up. The further your feet are away from your pelvis, the more difficult this is going to be. The closer your feet are to being directly under your knees, the easier this is going to be. And start to find that place where you can easily hold your pelvis off the ground. Bring both hands behind the back. There's several different ways you can do this. Why don't we just start with grabbing the right hand with the left and start to pull the left hand through, but allow your whole body to go with the left hand moving towards the right. Yeah, the left hand moving towards the right. Okay. And allow the whole body to move with it. So the left side's going to get shorter, the right side's going to get longer. Allow your head to roll into this, whatever feels like it's going to support that movement. And then change hands. And then pull the right hand back through slowly and easily. Try to feel the openness in the upper ribs and the upper arms on both sides as you do this. And then change and just slowly go back and forth. So right now I have my arms and my hands rubbing on my back as I do that. But you can bring them towards the floor and keep the hands on the floor as you go back and forth. And that's a totally different sensation. So we're not really moving the shoulders. We're fixing the shoulders. It's just we're allowing the hands to move, to guide the shoulders to move as a unit. And it's the rib cage that's softening and opening into this movement. And that makes the space for the shoulders to move. It's the whole impingement issue. And once again, when you're tired, if that's tiring you out, just do one or two and settle down, come back and do another one or two. Soft and easy. These are just things that you can do every day. Just do a couple of these. Come onto the floor, do a little bit of pelvis rolls in the morning. A few somatic pelvis rolls. A couple of these while you're in bridge. And just to start to feel into the space of the ribs. Both of those open the ribs in different ways. So go ahead and relax that down whenever it feels right for you. And extend the legs or keep the legs standing and allow the knees to come together in a constructive rest, whatever feels right for you. Okay. So let's now come back on to our front side. Let's face right. So the head's going to be facing right. Right hand is going to be up overhead. Actually, see if you can bring it to the other side of the head. Right, so you're facing into your right arm and bring your right arm to the left side of your head. Just as you're lying down, and bring the left arm into your back somewhere. Actually, no, let's do it this way. I've got a better arm. Let's do it this way. Let's have the right arm up over the head like this, and let's bring the left arm over towards the elbow. We're laying belly down now. We're laying belly down. And start to pull the elbow over to the side. While we're lying on our belly, see if you can feel where your weight has to shift. And you might even find yourself rolling all the way onto your left side. And then you can actually kind of move the other way and roll all the way onto your right side. Very nice, easy, and it starts to, you're actually using the leverage of the elbow, your right elbow, to open up into this space in the underarm. And you can really, I can really feel it under my shoulder blade when I do this. I can really feel an opening. I have a lot of congestion under my shoulder blades. I think a lot of people do. And just slow and easy. And you can make it bigger. You can make it bigger by, as you're drawing your right elbow to the left, if you actually start to look up towards the right elbow, and that'll bring you onto your left side, and then back down. Rolling to the other side is a little trickier. Notice how your body has to shift the weight. Right? This is, do many different variations like this. You can even start to let the right hand come down the back if you like. But try different variations. Bring the right hand to different places. Try moving from different places. Bring the awareness to the pelvis. How do you press the pelvis into the ground to allow this movement to happen? How does the weight shift along your chest, along your ribs, in order to leverage a movement like this? I'm not talking about leveraging to really torque onto your body, but to allow the weight to shift someplace that another part of your body becomes lighter so that it can lift in that fashion. So go ahead and let that go. Can't really see if anyone's got this down. So just go ahead and relax for a moment. You can turn to your side, onto your back. Attempt this on the other side. Just bring your awareness to your shoulders, your awareness to your upper ribs. Breathing into the upper ribs. Feeling that expansion into the underarms, into the shoulders, maybe even up. Feeling the lift right up your spine, feeling your head lifting away from your tail. The expansion of the chest. The forces rise up your spine and create space. Make you longer, make you taller. Every breath should be a lengthening event. And when we're walking, every step, every time we step a foot forward and bring the weight onto that foot, that whole side of the body we want to feel become longer. So we can feel that same kind of sensations as we're doing this. Let's come back onto our belly. This time we're going to face left. So the left arm is going to come over. We're going to bring the right arm up now. And we're just going to find this, and this might feel like a whole different thing here. And so we're going to be facing into this left arm here and just start to roll now. Just start to roll the opposite way, maybe onto the left. Just gently. It's about shifting the weight. Lengthening into the left. Shortening onto the right, but that shortening, as our body shortens, we get a leverage off of the floor. We bring weight into the right shoulder, into the right hip, and that actually propels our body into lifting and rolling. See if you can feel that in your body. Tweak on the movement, slight variations, and cheat. If the rolling isn't happening, it's okay, it isn't happening. If you really want to roll, as you're doing this with your belly down, stick a knee out and press the knee down and roll. That's a perfectly legitimate thing to do. The rolling is really a wonderful thing to do here. It might feel totally different. It certainly does for me. You can use your legs, use whatever's working for you. Over time, your body will start to learn in a non-cognitive fashion. In a non-cerebral fashion. It's more of a cerebrum fashion. So, And when you've had enough of that movement, slowly begin to release from that. And come onto your backs. Just begin to become aware of any differences that you feel now. Differences in your pelvis, in your legs, your shoulders, your arms, the way your spine feels, the way the line of your spine intersects with the lines of your arms and the lines of your legs. You can feel all of those connections. Connections of the 5 lines in the circle being your head. Ask a 3-year-old to draw a profile of you, and that's what you're going to get, 5 lines in a circle, right? And that's really all we need to understand about our bodies. It's the way the forces are distributed and propagated through those 5 lines. And what the hell do we do with that circle? How do we support that circle? All right, so now we're going to have some fun. Now, let's bring the left arm underneath the back of the left hand underneath the back, right arm coming up behind the head. I actually kind of like to bring it around and try to find the jaw on the left side. That's what I like to do. And just roll. Just allow your body to start to just kind of move around a little bit. Just looking for ways to relax and to find space in your body. And the reason I like to have my hand on my left cheek is because sometimes I might want to lift my head and turn it. And bring that lifting of the head, connecting the lifting of the head with the shoulder. Which of course is happening anyway, but this is a way to sense that movement. So just slow and easy, however that works for you. Whatever movement makes your body feel a little more open and a little bit more space for your shoulders to operate. And the thing we want to remember about shoulders is we're still going to have them tomorrow. So you don't want to do something this evening that's going to potentially bring you issues tomorrow. And so you want to be easy with the shoulders all the time. All the time. Be aware. Most of the time people, what they do is they'll reach behind them like this. They'll reach behind themselves to grab something, like maybe in the back seat of the car, or like grab a, something from the baby or whatever back there. And this is the movement, reaching behind us. This is the movement that we have that really brings a lot of distress to our body. It's not a movement that we want to do. The shoulder's not meant to swing behind us. The shoulder's meant to support the arm as the rest of the body moves around. So this is not a movement. This is, we want to bring that out of our habit, allowing the elbow to come behind us, and the arm is a lever. And this is, the arm is a lever on this little non-joint here. It's the rest of the body, leading with the jaw. The jaw and the shoulder are really tied tightly. And that opens up the space as we turn. So try that. Let's try that a little bit. And then change sides, right? Change sides now. So with your hand back here, or whichever way you're going, try to lead with the jaw. That's kind of why I like the hand on my jaw like this. I can actually feel, I can push the jaw into my hand and move the shoulder from the hand and the jaw. There's that connection. It's a different kind of connection, and it's something that you have to kind of feel into. It's something that you have to practice with a little bit to feel that sensation of leading with the jaw. When we're turning our head, it's these big jaw muscles, right? All the way down, up under the shoulder blades, up under the breastbone. You can feel into that. Slowly allow your jaw to move back and forth so you can feel it up under your breastbone, so you can feel it under your shoulder blades. All right, so why don't we come into a rest position for a few moments? Just let your body come into pure relaxation. So we really did a lot of very, very complex movement in our upper body. The movement in the shoulders really wasn't that complex. The complex movement was trying to allow the shoulders to be easy and to make space for that ease in the torso, in the softness of the breath, in the softness of the ribs. So as we begin to come to a seated position, be aware when we put a hand down to press ourselves up, are we really being mindful? Are we really paying attention? Because here again, when we start pressing into the arm, there really isn't a hell of a lot of support to hold the humeral head into this process right here, into this flat bone process right here. There really isn't a lot. This is to habitually move our body from the floor or from a seated position by using the arms and the shoulders, very weak muscles, rather than the hips and the pelvis and the legs, very strong muscles. We're just habituating shoulder movement that really is not what shoulders are designed for. We should try to move through the rest of the body, which is what a lot of this rolling and stuff is about, is using the rest of the body and just being able to roll up without any arm action. So we want to start being a little bit more mindful of using hands. And this really gets, when we fall, this is what we do, right? We put our arms out. And that's like the stupidest thing we can do. This is a very modern thing, sticking your arms out. I mean, tribal people that live close to the earth never stick their arms out. They're falling. They roll. They roll right into it. That's what we're supposed to do. And this is the kind of thing that we do to our shoulders. We stop things with our hands, and we want to habituate a different use of the shoulders. So let's just check this out. We did it at the beginning. Once again, we're not going to try to force it. Just notice that there's a little more ease. It might not be much, and it might not be more ease. Don't try to, there's no end result here. Just feel. Just feel it. Just feel if you can feel a little more smoothness in the movement. We're not asking for a lot. We're just asking for a little difference. This kind of stuff builds with reuse, with awareness. I really try to avoid shoulders in this class because they are so delicate, and I'm concerned that people will damage their shoulders. There's another movement that I was going to do that actually involves the head and the arms and stuff. I think it can be taken too far because it's really a complex movement. It really moves everything. I think we might do that next week though. So practice this stuff. Keep the shoulders moving. This kind of stuff. It's coming behind us. And that's an internal rotation. Internal rotation. Upper arms rotating into the body. That's what this is. External rotation when we come up and bring the arm down. External rotation is turning the palm up. Yeah. And then just like that. That's what makes the most space. Internal rotation, you want to reach the arm away, pull the arm out, internally rotate, and then back around. You might feel that there's a little bit more space there. This is part of what we were doing today. We weren't reaching out and back around, but we were allowing this kind of movement to happen, which is the same thing as reaching out and coming back around. Right? Finding the space and then rolling the shoulder in. All right, folks. Well, have a wonderful evening. I think we'll just do a quick Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Om. Namaskar. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you next week.